who is joining us as well to, again, talk about the effectiveness of the message of these protesters. Charlie, good morning.
Good morning to you, Dan. I reached out to a political science professor at UMKC to get some context about how effective protests really are. And that professor told me that protests like the one that's been happening here over the last 4 days are good at accomplishing two things. One, they raise awareness about a problem. And then number two, they put pressure on political leaders to solve that problem. That political science professor kind of compared what's happening now with the sit-ins and demonstrations during the civil rights movement in the South and how those led to change, but it took time. And she says these protests happening now in Kansas City will also probably take time to lead to change.
It took years. It was not fast change. It wasn't, we're going to, have a few sit-ins for a couple of weeks and then problem solved.
And we have heard from the protesters here that they are in this for the long haul, so they expect to be camped out here for a long time. And Lindsay and Taylor will just have to see how long it takes for their actions here to impact the people at City Hall, the mayor and the city council members to make those changes that they're asking for.
Charlie, what did the professor say about the impact of peaceful protests versus violent ones?
Yeah, she told me that nonviolent protest is much more effective. She says when there's violence or vandalism or even sometimes civil disobedience, that kind of takes away from the message of the protesters. She says it's critical that they remain nonviolent.